The name's Bond. James Bond. No Time to Die. I just got back from seeing the 25th of Eon Productions official James Bond movie. Now, if you guys have been following me for the past year, y'all know that I've been watching all the Bond films. I have every single James Bond film, official Eon Productions James Bond film on Blu-ray. I love this franchise. My favorite is probably Casino Royale with Daniel Craig, but I think what is so special and what's so great about James Bond, the series itself, is that it feels very different from every action movie franchise that comes out. It's more sophisticated. It has moments that make you happy. It makes you excited. I mean, the Bond franchise itself is a series that has many films that are just designed to make people happy. But when people put a lot of effort and time into some of the Bond films, they make really, really good personal adventures for this character. And I was really excited going into No Time to Die because it's Daniel Craig's last film, and Daniel Craig could be in contention to be the best, the character, the actor who has played James Bond to have the best tenure, because if you look at his films with Casino Royale and Skyfall, they're some of the best in the franchise, in my personal opinion. And of course, they do have. Craig does have his naysayers, those that don't particularly care for his take on the character of 007. I'm not one of those. I really enjoy his take on the character. My father really enjoys the take on the character, even though he does prefer the older Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Lazenby, and Timothy Dalton versions of the characters. But he really does enjoy Casino Royale like I do, and that is probably, even after seeing No Time to Die, I think Casino Royale is still our favorite of Craig's films. But we went and saw No Time to Die. In fact, I still have my tickets to seeing the film, and I gotta say, this was a lot of fun. This is probably the most fun I've had in the theater since seeing Suicide Squad, or the sequel, The Suicide Squad. This film was awesome. Like, it was really, really, really good. But it is not a perfect movie. I do have some flaws. Not really flaws. There's nothing in the movie that outright made me mad or upset, but there are definitely some things in this movie that are polarizing and that could be potentially polarizing for longtime James Bond fans, because there's a lot of risks that are taken in this movie, and they take a lot of liberties with the character of 007, especially when it comes to his personal life. Now, to me, what's so interesting about the character of James Bond is that he's very mysterious. You don't know that much about him, or at least his personal life. You know, where he comes from and what he does on his own time. And that's what I kind of like about the character, because it adds an air of mystery to this character. This character who has a license to kill, who likes his drink shaken, not stirred. You know, there's all these things that we've come to know about James Bond are generally accepted because we just love the mystery surrounding Bond. Who is this character? But Craig's Bond in particular changes that up a little bit by letting you see more of his background. And we see that in Casino Royale. We see the origin of Bond, really who Bond really is as a person, and how he started out and how he obtained his 00 status. And you see why he treats women the way he does in the films. Because, spoilers, his first love betrayed him. Spoilers for Casino Royale. This is going to be a non-spoiler review for No Time to Die, because I want people to go into this film knowing virtually next to nothing. But there are risks taken with the character. Some may really like that, and others are going to hate it, I think. And in fact, I looked at a couple of reviews after watching this, and there were people who flat out just didn't like the movie and didn't like the direction that they took. In fact, they think it's the worst Daniel Craig movie. I'm not in that camp. I think it's far from the worst James Bond film. I think it's far and away better than Spectre and Quantum. Even though I do enjoy some of Quantum, there's a lot of people that hate Quantum, and I get why. But I thought it was fine. Spectre's weird. Like the movie Spectre came out in 2015. It's a very weird film. I enjoy what they were going for, but I don't think it worked all that well. Again, that movie also took risks, but I think No Time to Die did a better job with its risks and carrying them out a little bit better than Spectre. But now that I've got the negatives out of the way, let's just talk about what I really loved. The action in this movie is phenomenal. You could argue it's the best action in the entirety of Craig's run. I mean, it's that good. The opening sequence in particular in Greece with the Aston Martin DB5, that shit rocked. I mean, it was really, really good. And Craig, he's so good as this character. He really does make you believe that he is the character of James Bond and he has a license to kill. He really does put his all in the action sequences and the emotional beats. He's wonderful in this film. He's great. Léa Seydoux comes back from Spectre. She was in the last film, and now she's in this film. And I thought her character was significantly better. She was much more fleshed out. She felt like a real live person, and she actually had chemistry with Bond this time around. In the last one of my biggest criticisms was that I didn't really buy the relationship between her and Bond. Here, it's fleshed out much more, and in fact, there are moments in No Time to Die that actually make me look back at Spectre and think that was actually a lot better than I thought. They improve upon, and that's what I like about this movie. It does improve upon some of the elements in Spectre, in my humble opinion. I think it does anyway. Everyone else is great in the movie. Ralph Fiennes as M, his boss, is really good. Ben Whishaw as Q is always a delight to see. Naomi Harris, she's not given that much to do. Her biggest role was in Skyfall, but here she's this typical moneypenny that we've come to know. But she's also really good as well. Rory Kinnear as Bill Tanner, really, really strong. When it comes to the Bond women, I already mentioned Léa Seydoux. She's much better here. But Lashana Lynch as Nomi, she was good. I actually enjoyed her character, and people were worried that she was going to be like the feminists, we were being social justice warriors here. She wasn't like that at all. I think people are blowing that a little bit out of proportion. She quips at Bond and snaps at him, but he snaps right back. I mean, they have a really good banter and some arguments that are a lot of fun, and it's really well written. The film is actually pretty well written, and there's just some funny humor sprinkled throughout the movie just to give levity to the film. Like it's not the whole movie is dark, but it's not drowned in darkness. There are moments that make you smile. There are moments that make you happy, because that's what James Bond films are supposed to do. They're supposed to make you happy, and that's what most films seek out to do, and to entertain. And that's what the Bond franchise is. It entertains, and that's what this movie did. The music by Hans Zimmer was awesome. There were some really nice callbacks from certain films, particularly On Her Majesty's Secret Service. There's some great little motifs that they use here and there that really, really enhance the film a lot, in my opinion. Also, Zimmer, he's a really good composer, and I think he did a really good job of getting the feel of Bond. My favorite composer since John Barry left the Bond franchise has been David Arnold. I think he's the best since John Barry to score the Bond films. He really understands the feel of a Bond film, especially in Casino Royale, which I think is his best score by far. The song by Billie Eilish, I really liked the song by Billie Eilish. I'm not the biggest fan of hers, but like her song was really cool, and it had some really nice Dr. No references, especially in the opening. It's really, really cool. There are moments in this film that are just so good, so good. And moments that I enjoy just as a fan. You know, this movie has a lot of fan moments and moments that just make you happy. You know, and that's what I really took away out of this experience. It was really an enjoyable ride. And again, there are moments at the end that will not please everybody. The choices that they make, this is probably the most personal a James Bond movie has ever gotten. And some people, without giving away any spoilers, some people are really not going to like that. And some people are actually going to enjoy it. In my opinion, it works for only Craig's tenure. If they had done this as an ending movie for any of the other Bond actors, say for Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton or even Sean Connery, it would not work, because it just doesn't fit that character. It doesn't fit that interpretation of the Bond character. I think for Craig, though, it actually does work. And there are minor plot points that don't entirely work and are not fully earned, but I think the movie is so well directed and looks beautiful. Nothing about this movie technically you can fault. I mean, the action sequences, the cinematography, it's all top notch. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at. It's a great looking movie. It's a technically efficient movie, and really that's about it. I really enjoyed the hell out of No Time to Die. As far as Craig's films go, I have Casino Royale at number one. I don't think Casino Royale will ever be topped. Then Skyfall. Really enjoy Skyfall. Those two kind of go back and forth, but I think Casino Royale will always be number one in my heart. So then Casino Royale, Skyfall, then No Time to Die. I really, really enjoyed No Time to Die. Then probably tied at the bottom is Quantum of Solace and Spectre. Those two flip flop. They're very close in terms of quality. I both like and dislike them for very different reasons. Um, I those two are definitely the worst of Craig's. Even though I don't hate them per se, it was just nice to see a movie in the theater, honestly. It was just a really good experience. And my dad, who's been a longtime Bond fan, had a great time. It put a smile on our faces. And I think that's what really, that about this movie is what really worked for me was the performances, the fun factor, and just the ride. It was a ride. I will say it is a bit too long, but again, I mean, I was never bored. I was never ever bored. I was always intrigued about what was going on. I do recommend the film. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a solid entry in the Bond series. And um, thank you very much, Daniel Craig. You were a great Bond. And I hope I hope his career works out for him. He's a great actor, and he's been a great Bond. So yeah, that is my review for No Time to Die. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.